Hello everyone, this is Satyaprakash. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll show you how to detect browser name and version using Angular and Bootstrap. So guys, before going through this video, please visit my Angular application videos for how to set up the Angular application and what are the prerequisites are required, and some real-time basis ideas on how to create Angular applications which are very beneficial for beginner, intermediate, and advanced candidates and technology lovers. So you'll get some real-time videos on my playlist called Angular application. So guys, here we'll discuss few points, that is what the steps to find browser name version in the Angular application using Angular pipe, steps to detect the name and version of the browser by creating a service with a common method, and check whether the browser is outdated or up to date, and why we need to configure the browser detection process. So guys, in this video we'll learn step by step to get the browser version and name in Angular application. Sometimes you have a requirement to get a browser name in Angular, and you might also need to get a browser name in Angular. So we can easily detect if the Angular application is loaded inside the Internet Explorer legacy or IE legacy as Firefox, Chrome, Safari, Opera, or any other browsers. So in this step by step video we'll learn steps to add a reusable method in Angular application and easily detect the browser name and version as well. So guys, there are various steps. So step one is we need to create a service to check the browser. So this is the command nggs services /detect browser. So we'll copy this command, go to the terminal of my VS Code and execute this command as well. So here service is the folder, inside it will create the files. So guys, here after executing successfully this command, it will create some files. So these related files will get inside the src expand the apps folder, services folder, and will get some two files, detect-browser.service.ts, detect-browser.service.spec.ts. So this is the step one. Step 2 is we need to configure browser name with version detection method. For that we need to open this file, that is detect-browser.service.ts file. So go to this file, detect-browser.service.ts file. So guys, this is the code. So after creating the detect browser service, add the get browser name and version. This is the method. And this method will return an object with name and version keys, that is this one. And this method will fetch the user agent string on the browser in which the Angular application is loaded. So this is nothing but the user agent. It will detect what is the browser, and this all kind of browsers we have defined. I have defined here Opera, Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Microsoft Internet Explorer, Edge, and other browsers as well. And there is one thing is where here we detect the name and version of the browser by creating a new service with a common method. And the detect browser name version method, it will return an object name with version keys. This method is fetching the user agent string that provides the browser informations. So this is all about the code, guys, for detect-browser.service.ts file. This is the import section. This is the decorator of injectable. If you put over mouse, you'll get some information about this injectable decorators. And this is the constructor, and this is the command method which you have defined in the service, which will detect the browser name and version. And this user agent, navigator user agent, it will detect the browser name. And various browsers we have defined here, and there are some conditions we have put. Based on the browser, it will return the for Edge, it will return the Edge Chromium. For Opera, it will return the Opera, and same for other browsers as well. And there is some browser related returns, it will return the name and version keys as well. So this is all about the code for detect-browser.ts file, detect-browser.service.ts file. So let's go to the next step. Step 3 is detect browser name with version, that is open the app.component.ts file. So this is the app.component.ts file, guys. And here we'll import the detect browser services which you have created recently, and this is the component import, and the other component is the decorator. We'll get some information about the decorator by hover our mouse on this decorator. It has three properties: selector, template, URL, style URLs, maps to the files, and this is the app component class. The title we have mentioned here, and this is the required version. Is browser up to date or not? This is the boolean property, browser version, and browser name and version is any. So inside the constructor, guys, we already have import the detect browser service in the app.components constructor function. So the service instance method named get browser name and version will assign the name and version object to the browser name and version variable. Okay, so for that, this is the file where I have this code as well added, and detect browser service. This parameter has comes from this defined from get some values or properties from detect browser service class, and so from this class we have derived some properties as well using this dot browser name version, nothing but we have defined here, right, properties, and we have assigned these values from this class and assigned to this properties as well. So it will detect the browser name and browser version, and it will put the conditions, that is here we configure for displaying the browser name and version along with the browser is up to date or not. If the browser name version is less than the required version, it will show to the end user that is browser is outdated or not up to date. Okay, so this is the required version we have manually mentioned here, and based on the actual browser version, it will decide whether the browser is up to date or not. So this is the code of app.component.ts file. Okay, and go to the next step, that is step 4, HTML template to show the browser name with version. So app.component.html file. So this is the file app.component.html. Okay, so guys, here we'll update the HTML template of app component to display the browser name and version. So this is the code for app.component.html file, and update it in your code as well. So guys, here I have used the interpolation with a double quotation, that is it will display the browser name and version with the help of interpolation, and interpolation defined with using the double curly braces, and that permits the user to bind a value to the UI element. Also we'll use the angular pipe to transform the value in the title case. So this is the interpolation, and this is the pipe. So these three things we have used and getting these values from app.component.ts file: browser name, browser version, and a required version. Okay, and one more thing is we have used some bootstrap toast. It will show the end user it is a updated browser or not. Okay, so this is the toast class I have used, and inside I have used the star ng if directive. So it'll show guys here star ng if directive. So this is the properties in our app.component.ts file, that is it is the boolean value. If it is outdated, so it will show to the end user, oops, browser is outdated, and these are the value your browser name, so browser is outdated, browser version name, and as less than the required version, and it will show to the required version as well. I have mentioned here using the interpolation, and no longer supported, please update your browser. Same way we have used for star ng directive, is browser is not outdated or up to date, it will show to the end user, cheers, browser is up to date, your browser name and browser is up to date, this is version name it will show. So these are the all dynamic values I have used using the interpolation, which will comes from the app.component.ts file along with the detect-browser.service.ts file. Browser name, version, required version, everything is comes from the dynamically from these two files, and we can show in our app.component.html file. Okay guys, so this is the code for app.component.html file, div class, a card, bootstrap card I have used. This is the title also comes from app.component.ts file. Okay, that is this one, and this is the table. Inside table we have used some three values, it will show to the end user, that is browser name, version, and required version. And inside the toast bootstrap class we have used the bootstrap predefined class. Also for proper styling I have used the style position fixed, and this is for inside the style tag I have used. Okay, and after then the toast header, and inside toast body I have mentioned this message is outdated or up to date, and for up to date it will show to the end user. So these are the values we have defined here. This is all about the dynamic values. It comes from this app.component.ts file and detect-browser.service.ts file. So this is all about the code for app.component.ts file. Okay, So guys, go to next step, step 5, add bootstrap to make the page responsive. For this I need to open the index.html. so this is the index.html, and this is the code for I'm getting add some bootstrap CDN URLs for bootstrap responsive, and make sure you need to connect your internet because these are the remote URLs. After then we have mapped to our app components. So this is the root we have mapped to app hyphen root closing opening and closing tag. So that whatever changes we have made in our app.component.html file or ts file, it will maps to this file, maps to the index.html, and we can get the output in the browser. So this is all about the code. So go to the steps. So next step is we'll check the output. So guys, to check the output, we click on this terminal, new terminal, and we'll execute the one command here, that is ngSar, and click enter. So guys, here finally run the application by executing the ngSar command in the terminal window, and it opens the application is the following URL, that is http localhost 4200. I copy this URL. My Angular application is compiled successfully, so I will copy this URL, go to my, I'll check first my Chrome browser. So here I'll check my output, so refresh it. So guys, this is the output, okay, and the browser name, browser version, and the current required version which we have defined in our ts file. So go to the ts file. So here guys, I have mentioned here the 198, the required version, so that will mention the required version 198, and you'll get the current browser Chrome version is 125. So based on that, it will show to the end user that is the outdated browser. Oops, browser is outdated, your Chrome browser is outdated, that is the browser name is 125, and it is less than the required version 198 and no longer supported. Please update your browser. So how to get this current browser name guys in the Chrome? So for that, we'll check on this three dot, go here, help, and about Google Chrome, and in the settings you'll get the Chrome browser version here, okay, that is 125. The same thing it is showing in our Chrome browser as well. So same thing we'll check for Edge browser. So go to my Edge, okay, and here we'll check the output. So here browser name is Edge, current browser name 125, required is 198. Based on required version, it will show to the end user the version is browser is outdated. Your Edge Chromium browser is outdated, 125 is the version of Edge Chrome Edge, as less than the required version 198 and no longer supported. Please update your browser. So how to get this Edge browser version in Edge itself? So go click on the settings, help and feedback, go to the about Microsoft Edge, and you'll get the browser version is 125. The same thing it's detected in our Angular application as well. So guys, it is showing the outdated in both the browser based on required version. Let's just minimize our required version in code. That is, instead of 198, I'll just remove to 1, that is 98 in our app.component.ts file. Wait for Angular application is compiled successfully. So my Angular application is compiled successfully. Go to the Chrome browser and refresh it. So I'm getting this required version 98, and based on required version it will show to the end user, and this toast message is display is changed, that is cheers, browser is up to date, and your Chrome browser is up to date to 125. Let's check in our Edge browser. So refresh it. So it show the required version is 98 now. Based on required version, it will show to the end user that is cheers, browser is up to date, and your Edge browser is up to date to 125. So this is the way we can detect a browser outdated or up to date. So guys, why we need to configure the browser detection process? So guys, I'll discuss this point in my presentation as well. So go to my presentation. So guys, we need to detect the browser name and version to inform the visitors that this browser is or its version is incompatible with loading application properly, and they can switch to the latest available browsers. In today's era, we have many latest web browsers available in the market which are fully compatible with the latest WebKit to support modern JavaScript and CSS principle. In such a case, we need to detect the browser name and version to inform the visitors that this browser or its version is incompatible with loading the application properly, and they can switch to the latest available browsers. So sometimes what happen, your client is facing some issues, that is the layout issues, or it is sometimes the your some HTML elements not are not scaled properly. So in that scenario, you just show to your client that is you need to update your browser, and your browser is now outdated. So based on that process, using the Angular application, you can implement these things. So guys, that's for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.